Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your host, Dystro, and tonight's is the final episode of July before we go into August. I know it's crazy, crazy time, but this episode is a random ranking, and tonight's random ranking is a Loverboy edition. This one's kind of new, the Loverboy random ranking one. So this one's gonna be completely blind. I don't really know a lot about these songs by heart, but I will just go and pick and choose. And if you do not know what a random ranking is, it's like 10 being the worst, first being the best. And there's 10 songs on the docket for tonight. And these songs are Dangerous, Notorious, Turn Me Loose, Gangs in the Street, Teenage Overdose, Too Much Too Soon, Heaven in Your Eyes, Jump, not the Van Halen version, Steal the Thunder, and Chance of a Lifetime. Now, this is going to be kind of tough because I do not know a lot about these songs, and to be honest with you, that's okay. But I will go just blindly, just rank them, and let's just hope for the best, right? Alright, so starting with number 10, it is Steal the Thunder. This one is gonna be, it's like I said, it's gonna be random ranking, it's blind rankings. A lot of these songs I do not know. That's on me, that's on my bad. I just didn't have the chance to, listen to hardly any of these songs. But I'm going to try to give you my true, honest opinion and just hope for the best. So this song in particular, Steal Your Thunder, refers to a situation where someone is trying to take credit or attention away from another person's accomplishments or ideas. Because the lyrics paint a picture of someone who is jealous and wants to undermine the success of another individual, essentially trying to steal their thunder. In a lot of these random rankings, you're going to be noticing a lot of a pattern here. I do not know a lot about these songs, like I said. And it's at number 10. It's one of those songs that I think, from what I have read about, what the meaning is, it's like it kind of gives me a little bit more of an intrigue to listen to it more. So that's a good idea. I would say this is kind of up there with some of the other Loverboy songs that we've heard in the past. But it gives me more of a chance to listen to it as an avid music listener. So yeah, Steal the Thunder is my number 10. So my number 9 is Chance of a Lifetime. I know that's probably gonna ruffle some feathers a little bit with some people, but it's a random ranking list, and I'm going into this completely blind, because I do not know a lot about these songs. So sue me. Don't sue me, but just figure of speech. So Chance of a Lifetime is not a direct commentary on specific social or political issues, but rather a reflection on personal relationships and the intensity of romantic feelings. So it uses the imagery of a chance of a lifetime to describe the profound impact a particular relationship has on the singer or whoever, suggesting a sense of destiny or unique opportunity for love, which that happens a lot nowadays with a lot of people, like you see in romantic comedies, because it's either main protagonist A is going after main protagonist B, but then there's anti protagonist or antagonist C, and it's they're trying to get that chance of a lifetime to go after B and all that stuff. So it's it happens to a lot of people. And that's every love song nowadays too. It's you have that chance of a lifetime to go after that person that you love, but it's you gotta make or break it. So it's my number 9, but it gives me more of a chance to listen to it and get my other thoughts about it. So on to number 8. So my number 8 is Gangs in the Streets. This one is not very widely known or explicitly discussed, but this band, is usually more known for their hits of like "Working for the Weekend" and "Turn Me Loose." Um, and this one's kind of like one of those things where it's like there's no real meaning for it. I guess it's just like if you gotta like think about it in a certain way. Um, but it is my number 8. But there is another song from I think the exact same uh, album. I think there's two of them from the exact same album that is on this list. Um, that I had put much higher. So, with that being said, Gangs in the Streets, like, it's not really like a favorite of mine per se, but it gives me more of a chance to listen to it in the future. And like I said, like with some of these songs, it's gonna give me like more of a appreciation for them, and just that's a good thing about music, right? It's like if you shit on something now like that you didn't have any good recollection for, it's like you'd be like, oh well, shit, like I didn't give that song a chance, and it's like it gives you more motivation to go back and just get that uh remorse, or not remorse, uh I guess a reclaim to get back in like the good graces of some people, if this is their favorite song. So let's go on to number 7. All right, so on to my number 7. My number 7 is Teenage Overdose. I'm thinking this one's from like early, like I would say maybe debut album, not Lucky Ones, but other than that one. Um, there is no song meaning for this one either. But if you can, like, I think it's like if you think about it, it's like if you look at the lyrics, it's like one foot in hell, and the other's got to be walking with the devil and setting him free. It's like if you go like, I think it's like if you do an overdose, it's like you're in hell, and you're just like trying to figure out like, okay, like I got one foot in the door, and it's like you're walking with the devil and you're setting him free. It's like those demons like will take you over and kind of just like be like, hey, like if you keep doing this, like we're gonna be there for you and all that stuff. Another line's like, you're looking for a cover, don't want to tell your mother. I know you're out there, you're an undercover or underground lover. Um, and it's like you're kind of looking for a cover up. It's like you don't want to tell your mother and all that stuff, and it's like because they'll get on your ass about that stuff. It's like that mother's intuition. Well, that's factual. But nothing else left unsaid on that. Let's go into number 6. So my number 6 is Jump. It is not the Van Halen song Jump, but it is the song of the exact same name. It is from the album Get Lucky. I would say I think Turn Me Loose, Jump, Dangerous is on that album as well. So I'm thinking Get Lucky is going to be, no pun intended, lucky on this random ranking this month. Don't know much about this one either. It is very kind of like, I guess like poppy, I guess if you want to call it that. I don't really know much about the song either way. In that like I said, it gives me more of a chance to like listen to it and actually really appreciate it for what it is. But other than that, I don't really know much more about that. So let's just go on to number 5. So going on to nitty gritty. This is top 5. Okay. So my number 5, it is Too Much Too Soon. Is not one of their best well-known hits. Like I said, Working for the Weekend and Turn Me Loose. But however, based on the title, it's likely a song about the dangers of moving too quickly in a relationship, which is true. The phrase too much too soon often refers to the idea of rushing into intimacy, commitment, or other significant relationship milestones before the foundation is strong enough, which could lead to problems or even failure of the relationship. And in the context of it, it's like, the lyrics might explore the excitement and potential pitfalls of a whirlwind romance. The song could also portray the initial attraction and passion, but also hint at the risk of neglecting the necessary steps for building a lasting connection. That is a lot of today's relationships and all that stuff. Because you got to base your relationship on trust. And if you can't trust your partner or your spouse or whatever, then it's like, why are you guys together? You know, and it's like I said, it's a foundation. So you gotta build from the ground up. And if you can't lay down the foundation for that relationship to last, it's not going to last very long, because then there's going to be cracks and all that stuff, and it's going to come tumbling down. And it's like if you think about it in a way, think about like the Three Little Pigs. I know that's an old fairy tale, but if you think about it, it's like the first two pigs, their houses blew away because it wasn't a strong enough foundation. So when they go to the third pig's house, it's a strong foundation because it's made of stone. And that it's like, if you think about it, it's like third time's the charm sort of thing. It's like if the first two relationships don't last very long, then that third one, you might get off to a rocky start a little bit, but if you can build that foundation from the ground up, then it's all smooth sailing after that. And not a lot of people, especially young people like myself nowadays, they don't realize that relationships based on trust. And not a lot of people want to, like, a lot of people just want to like nose dive in and just be like, okay, well, we're dating now, and I'm just gonna, like, just use you for anything else but other than you. And that's kind of sad. And it's like, it's just sad to think about. I mean, I'm single, and it's like I rather find my own person or my own way to that person, because then it's like I feel like I accomplished something, and I accomplished myself for getting to that point of intimacy and potential passion. So, like, with too much too soon, it is kind of like that. It is a good point where it said, like, which could lead to problems or eventually even the failure of a relationship. So it is a good song to, like, go base that off of. Um, so with that being said, I'm not going to go too much more into that. So let's go on to number 4. So to my number 4, it is the Loverboy song "Notorious." So this one's kind of interesting. I did rank this high. It is for good reason. So when I had first listened to it, I didn't really think anything of it, of course. But when I listened to it again and I looked at the song meaning for it, it gave me more of a, I guess, deeper respect for it. It is not about a romantic relationship, but rather a exploration of the intoxicating and sometimes overwhelming nature of fame and attention. And that's a lot of people nowadays, in the Hollywood scene, with Hollywood, stars and all that stuff, coming up from Hollywood stardom. It uses the language of infatuation to describe the experience of being in the public eye, which, like I said, with Hollywood stars and all that stuff, the lyrics detail the feeling of being constantly watched and scrutinized, with the singer acknowledging that everybody's watching. This heightened awareness and the pressure to perform are framed as a form of infatuation similar to a romantic obsession. The chorus, with its repeated "notorious, notorious, I'm notorious," emphasizes that the singer's awareness of their public persona and its impact on others, which is kind of true with nowadays. Not a lot of people kind of make it out of that Hollywood stardom phase. Sometimes, like, their Hollywood stardom, like, phases out after a while, which kind of sucks. um, and it's like, when you see, like, some of these, like, childhood actors, like, they rise up to stardom, but then it's like they have, like, a hitting point, like a peak point, and it's like they can't go higher than that. So it's like they're kind of put on this pedestal about being notorious and all that stuff. But then it's like, when they devolve into drugs and bad habits and all that stuff, it's like they're kind of like getting shunned down, like pushed down, like the pedestal a little bit. Because it's like with the Notorious fame, it's like you're always being watched by the media and the public, and also because like your actions kind of speak louder than words. Especially on social media nowadays, with like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. Because if you say one thing and it blows up, it's like everybody's gonna be either hating you or loving you or both. With with Rodney Racky, like he will say some stupid things, but then it's like he either gets hate or he gets love. But then it's like he gets both the exact same time, but he just doesn't give a shit. Um, which it's good luck with that, Ronnie. And see, like that's what being notorious is. Um, so I'm just gonna rest my case on that before I go any further. Um, but yeah, Notorious is a good song. Let's go on to number three. So on to my number three. My number three is Dangerous. This song in particular, it is about the risky nature of rock and roll access, but it's not really about literal danger or narcotics, if you want to call it that. It is a good song. I actually really like it very much. It is about the exhilarating but risky nature of rock and roll access, but not about literal danger or narcotics, which is crazy. But the song's lyrics include lines about one foot in hell, initially sparking concerns. The band clarified it was about the intense, potentially self-destruction passion associated with the lifestyle of a touring rock band, which that happens a lot nowadays. The song's title and some lyrics have been interpreted as referring to drug use, but the band intended it to represent all consuming nature of their musical pursuit. So, like with One Foot in Hell, this phrase, repeated throughout the song, is a key to understanding the song's meaning. It signifies that the band's dedication to their music, even to the point of pushing themselves to their limits, potentially to a detrimental degree. The rock and roll access, I should say. The song captures the energy and intensity of a rock and roll lifestyle with its inherent temptations and potential for overindulgence. And then with Not Literal Danger, while some listeners may or might have initially interpreted the song as being about drug use or physical danger, it's the band had clarified that the lyrics are metaphorical, describing the all-encompassing and potentially self-destructive passion associated with their chosen path. So that's what Dangerous is kind of all about. And I actually kind of agree with that. It's like when you look at the lyrics and all that stuff too. It's like when you look at some lyrics, it's like you can interpret it so many different ways to kind of put your own twist and spin on it. But when you have your own band being like, hey, this is not what it's about, it's kind of like saying like it's gospel, because you rather choose to listen to your own band than not. It is really good. It is a really good song, and actually that's why I put it up high, because I actually liked it so much. So, with that being said, let's go on to my number two. So, on to the final two. My number two, it is Heaven in Your Eyes. So, this one is a very, romantic song as well. It is about finding love and solace in another person's eyes, especially during the enduring hardships together. The song suggests that the eyes of a loved one offer a sense of heaven and comfort, a refuge from the struggles and pain of life. It's also about recognizing a deep connection and the power of love to heal and offer hope. Which is kind of true nowadays with with social media and relationships and all that stuff. Especially having a partner that you can find and just give all your love and attention to, and it's like it's kind of hard to do that nowadays, because a lot of these people, especially some people, they're only just going to be there for you just to like have a shoulder to cry on, but okay, well, you can deal with your own shit, stuff. But when you can look into another person's eyes and just kind of be like, we're in this together, and it's like when you have like, let's just say, like, if you're having a bad day and you don't really know who to talk to, because like if you talk to one person, they're gonna be like, well, suck it up, buttercup, it's like every day is gonna be like that. But then when you have that one person that you can confide in and talk to about your day and all that stuff, and they're not gonna make you feel like absolute shit, then it's like, okay, well, this person is gonna be there for me. Why can I not be there for them? And it's kind of like that. It's kind of like with Too Much Too Soon. It's like you got the risk and reward of nosediving into a new relationship, but then with the Heaven in Your Eyes, it's like you're finding that love and solace in another person, especially during hardships and all that stuff. Because it's a one way. It's not a one way street. It's like relationships are not a one way street. It's like you're in a ship together, and it's like and you're rocking the boat. It's like if you rock it too hard, it's gonna crash, and that crash is gonna make your relationship fall, and sink to the bottom of the ocean in Davy Jones' locker. And I think that's kind of like what I like about that. Cause like some songs are super easy to divulge into and dive into some depths, which is good. That's what I love about music. But then like with some other songs, like Steal the Thunder, it's kind of like about like a person like stealing your moment, or Chance of a Lifetime. It's like talking about meeting that one person that's like it's a chance of a lifetime. Like you don't get to see them very often. You gotta steal that chance when you can. Um, but yeah, Heaven in Your Eyes is a good song. So now on to my number one. So, we are on to my number one. My number one for the, almost said Fall Out Boy, Loverboy random ranking is Turn Me Loose. Now, this one is a very near dear song to my heart. Because when me and Marissa listened to Get Lucky, it was actually a song that kind of like connected to me a little bit in a way. And I don't really say that much about a lot of music. Um, but this song in particular is to just generally mean to release or set free or allow to someone to like express themselves freely. But within the context of the song, it's an invitation to let loose and have fun, particularly in a party or a dancing setting. The song is about a desire to break free from restrictions and enjoy yourself without inhabitation. And it is actually kind of true. With, like, it's like, let's give the example. It's like when you're at a party or like a dance and all stuff, it's like, you kind of like you kind of want to let loose. You kind of want to just be free from social norms and like like it's a weekend and it's like you're kind of free to do whatever the hell you want. But then it's like when you go back to society, it's like kind of like conformed and you gotta like keep to yourself and also you can't just let go. You can't be free to do whatever you want. And that's what I love about this song, Turn Me Loose. It's like with musicians nowadays. It's like they want to express themselves freely and just like do their own thing, do make their own music. And some of us nowadays are like like if we're stuck on the past and we're stuck on that band's former band's form of music, I should say, and it's like we're not gonna like succumb to change. It's like why are you still listening, and it's like when like for example with me and Marissa when we first started this podcast, it's like we didn't know what we were doing, but we just wanted to be free to do our own thing. And it's been 3 years since we made it, and it's like we're doing new creative stuff. We're expressing ourselves freely and just letting us have a voice to like spread to the people that love music, video games, movies, wrestling, anime, art stuff. Like and like when we do the shoot the shit episodes, it's like it's no filler. and it's uncut, uncensored, and all that stuff. Like, you get what you get with that episode every month. And I'm actually kind of glad that we got that thing rolling, because it's a free form figure of speech for us to just be like, speak our mind. And that's what, like, I think what Turn Me Loose kind of like gave us, like, a more of a, not a clear answer, but like kind of like a better, I guess, state of mind, I should say, if you want to put it like that. Um, but all in all these songs are really good songs in their own way. I'm actually kind of sad that I don't really know much about a lot of these. And some of these songs are from, I think, the first two albums that we had listened to, me and Marissa did, before we just stopped cold turkey, because of due to some real life reasons. But yeah, all these songs are really good. I would just go check them out if you wanted to. Um, but if you haven't made it to the very end, please make sure to follow us on all social media links in the description below, which will take you to our link tree, which will take you to our Instagram pages, Twitter pages, the Reddit podcast page, my gaming YouTube channel is on there, and the vlogging channel is on there. There is going to be a vlogging, I think, sometimes, or a vlog, I think sometime soon. Don't really know that for sure. But I know tonight's song of the night is a Loverboy song, and I think it is Turn Me Loose. I don't know if there is a music video for it, but I know there's probably a audio visual for it. But yes, that is tonight's song of the night, Turn Me Loose by Loverboy, and that is it. And I will see you guys in August. Peace!